and welcome to this edition of Magic Spell. Faith is with me again, and Faith, last time that we were together, we talked about 5 ways to spell the sound, okay? And it always had the letter R with it, didn't it? Okay, we call those R controlled vowels. And just quickly, write those down the side of your board, because I know that we talked about E-R, I-R, U-R, okay? E-A-R is a way to spell but there's one more. What is it, just really quick again?
O-R.
O-R, after what letter?
W.
After the letter W, like the word, well, like the word word, or the word work. Okay, all right. Now, in this episode of Magic Spell, what we want to show the parents so that they can help their kids is there are some other what we call R controlled vowels. And you know, Faith, sometimes moms and dads, when they want to help us and we start talking about things like, oh, you know, Mom, that's an R controlled vowel. Sometimes moms and dads, you know, we've gotten older and we've been out of school for a while and we're going, oh, now what are you guys talking about on that? All right, and how do you use it and when do you use it? So we're going to remind parents that there's another R controlled vowel. Okay, there's actually 2 more. One of them says R, and I'm actually, Faith, going to erase real fast and get this off of here. Okay, and it's spelled, it's the sound R, which sounds like the letter R, but it's the sound R. And we hear it in a word like shark, don't we? We hear sh, R, k, right, don't we? So write that. That's a pretty easy word, I think, for you. And how did we spell that R sound?
A-R.
We spelled it with an A-R. Okay, I'm going to erase that one. And it even works in a word with more than 1 syllable. So I'm thinking about the word alarm, all right? Like an alarm clock, all right? So 2 syllables. So write 2 syllable lines. The first syllable in alarm is and you know, something else you could remind parents of really quickly is when we hear that at the beginning of a 2 syllable word, we almost always spell it with an
U.
Well, it sounds like sounds like a U, but we spell it with an A. Good job. So put that there. All right, and then larm. So we have ul. Now there's that R sound. How do you spell it?
A-R.
A-R. And then, of course, what do we hear at the end?
M.
Okay, so we have the word alarm looking like this, don't we? All right, so we have that sound spelled with an A, and then here's the R sound spelled A-R. Okay, so there's lots and lots of kids that need to be reminded of that. Now, one more. It's the sound or, all right, which is also a little word all by itself. So write that on your board. And that is the last R-controlled vowel, basically, that we use in our language. And you hear that in the real easy word more, don't you? I think we all know how to spell that word.
Yep.
But you know what? Even in a 2-syllable word, like order, okay? So write 2-syllable lines. Okay, what's the first syllable in order?
Or.
How are you going to spell it?
O-R.
O-R. Okay, because when you hear or, you have to spell it with an O-R. And then der, okay,
D.
which is the D, and then Oh, this is a nice little review, isn't it? In the last segment, we talked about if you hear at the end of the word, what's the very most common way to spell it?
E-R.
E-R. Put it there. And you have the word, why don't you show the parents? You have the word order. And you have used a lot of little magic spell tips, haven't you? If you hear or, spell it O-R. If you hear at the end of the word, spell it with an E-R. And you'll be right almost every time, won't you? Okay.
You will be.
All right. I think those are great tips for parents, for their kids. Okay. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Magic Spell.
Bye.